What's up, Reds? Welcome to the Sunday Summary. I'm your host, Kyle. With me, as always, is Steve. Breaking news to get into today. Fun news. And guys, it just keeps coming. Dominik Szoboszlai, however the hell you want to say it. It's one of the most difficult names I've ever seen and said, is a Liverpool player. The announcement is expected today, and also Liverpool are upping their interest in Khephran Thuram. We'll get into it all today. But first off, good morning to everyone, and especially you, Steve. How are you this morning?
You know what, man? I'm doing pretty good. Here come all the heroes in the chat about the pronunciation. But here's the long story short, the too long didn't read version is nobody's calling him by his last name.
We're calling
Or
him
I guess
Dom.
would that be surname?
Whatever.
We're gonna call him Dom. I'm assuming, right?
How about D Money?
How about we call him Dominik Szoboszlai? It's a little bit easier.
I feel like it's just the Hungarian Dominik Szoboszlai.
Literally. We had a conversation about this yesterday, which we will not get into today.
Yeah.
But we can call him Dom Solanke and act like that signing we made was good.
Hey,
I was fired up for that when we signed Dominik Solanke. Side note.
What's that?
When we signed Dom Solanke, I was actually excited. Just as a side note.
Who wasn't?
He was young. He was supposed to be something. He didn't sniff the pitch.
He played a few times. He scored a few times.
He played maybe 5 matches. Meaningful matches. He probably had like 5 meaningful appearances.
We flipped him, though.
Yes, we did.
So, Steve, basically, this whole process took 3 days to complete. Literally 3 days to complete. So the news broke that Liverpool were going to trigger the release clause for Szoboszlai. I'm calling him Dominik. I can't do it. I mess it up every time, and I pronounce it differently every single time. 70 million euros was the release clause. Liverpool tried to negotiate with Leipzig, right? They were not hearing it. They're like, you either pay the release clause or you're not getting them. So Liverpool said, oh, okay, challenge accepted. Paid it, and within 2 days, this man's medical is complete, and we should be expecting an announcement today or at least in the next 24 hours. It's actually insane when these kinds of transfers happen. They've happened in the past where we see a link and the next day the player's a Liverpool player, as opposed to these other ones where the links last for months. How were you feeling when you watched all of this break?
I think it was maybe Paul Joyce or Fabricio that literally were like, mentioned, the first time I saw it was they mentioned the expiration date of like midnight Friday, the 30th of June, some sort of expiration date for one of these clauses or something. And I knew, well, at least the good news is we're going to know by that time. Because if something's going to change and go up in price after that, well, you bet FSG will get off their asses and do something. If money's involved and savings are involved, they'll move quickly. Otherwise, you're right. We'll be linked with somebody for 3, 4, 5, 8 years. But you know what? This reminds me of the Fabinho signing, the Jota signing.
Yes.
And I was thinking about it this morning. If you really think about our club, right? Well, there's like, for the most part, we sign people that haven't had their first big club move yet. There are a few exceptions to that, right? There's like your Ox coming from Arsenal. There is your Thiago, but we know why we got him. There is, I guess you could consider Alisson and Salah from Roma. It's a pretty big club, played in big Champions League matches, got torched by us. But for the most part, like you think about like the Southampton signings, right? Even McAllister. You get where I'm going with this. These players, like I'm not surprised that we're going after these guys that aren't like the Valverdes that I want and things of that nature. We're going after guys that are hungry, and this guy seems hungry.
I see what you did there. Did there.
And you know what? This is just one of those signings where I'm not gonna be surprised if we turn him into like one of the best attacking mids in the league because of Jurgen. And people are like, wow, where did they find this guy? How did they turn this around in 2 days?
Yeah. A lot of people are making the comparison that Nkunku by Chelsea signed for a lesser fee from the same team, and Nkunku had better stats. That's not what I'm on the same page as you in the sense that this player is 22 years old. He could turn into one of the best. He could turn into one of the best attacking midfielders in the world.
And you know why that is, Kyle? It's because of Jurgen Klopp.
Yes.
And for no other reason. Because this guy could go play anywhere, United, and be average, maybe a little above average. Klopp's one of the only people on earth that can turn that potential and that already like solid floor of talent and skill that you have and just like push you through the roof. Like there was a time where everybody in our starting 11 was the best in the world, give or take. And that's because Klopp really maximizes potential. If you're fit, I will say that first and foremost, if you're fit, you will grow under Jurgen Klopp. So I'm glad this guy's here, man. I'm really excited. People are comparing his skill set to De Bruyne.
Yeah, I saw that. Like our own Kevin De Bruyne.
Look at these numbers, Kyle. Is he a striker?
These are pretty damn good numbers, man. These are pretty damn good numbers. 258 games, 71 goals, and 75 assists for you guys who are just listening. It's actually remarkable. And someone said it earlier in the chat. Obviously, if you're watching highlights online, they can make anybody look great. But you watch the technical skill this guy has and his feet, Steve, man. For his size, he's 6'1". I haven't been this excited about seeing a player play since probably Keita. I'm serious.
It's so heartbreaking. Why'd you have to just stab me in my heart like that, man? I was so
I'm
excited.
just saying. I'm just saying.
I mean,
I was
dude,
not
I know what you mean.
expecting this at all. Right?
No, I know what you mean.
What RB Leipzig get rated every single year for their players. Right? I mean, look, Man United with Sabitzer, and then you got Upamecano, Nkunku, all these other players that just get bought by bigger clubs. But it just seems like we go after the players. Like we could have gotten Nkunku, right? But we're like, no, we're going to wait. And apparently we've been following Dominik Szoboszlai for years.
How long?
Since he played with Salzburg in the same game that Minamino, Daka, and all these other guys played against.
So he went from RB to RB?
He went RB to RB, man. This guy's Red Bull through and through.
I feel like people really do that. Like, I feel like he's not the only one. Are those clubs connected?
Yeah, they have to be. It's just like New York Red Bulls. They're all owned by Red Bull, I think.
Are you sure?
Dude, all right, listen to
me.
Also,
shout out to everybody in the chat. Kyle, your mother's in here.
Oh, yeah. Good morning. I didn't do that.
We will get over to the chat here in a second. But I also want to say happy Independence Day to everybody that's approaching here in the United States. Happy 4th of July. It really marks the kickoff of summer.
It really does.
Hope the weather's beautiful for all of you.
Good morning to everyone in the chat. Liz, Oyvind, all channel members. Dermot, my mother's in the chat. Oh boy, not him. Max M, Beak, Harry, Ravi, what's up? Make sure that if you're not subscribed, you subscribe to the damn channel for Dominik Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai.
Yes, it's Szoboszlai.
Szoboszlai.
And of course, Oyvind says he's going to call him Szoboszlai, which is fine. But I think you're just putting in too much work at that point, man. Why don't we just call him Dom?
Dom.
Why don't we just call him Dom? Also, shout out to Oh Boy, Not Him. He doesn't get enough credit for his name.
That's true.
The legendary name.
Archio McDodge as well in here. What's up? Comment about Szoboszlai here. Honestly, he's crazy technically gifted. That's how I feel as well. Some of his first touches are perfection, can finish with both feet, links play crazy well, and that outside the box shot is fire.
Remind you of anyone, Kyle?
Yeah.
Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. It's really hard to get to the level Kevin De Bruyne is at. But if you even have 75% of his skill set with both feet, a nice touch, chance creation abilities, and a shot from outside the box with both feet, no one in our club has that.
And
no one can finish with their weak foot from outside the box.
Steve, let me hit you with something. Ross says it here. He's 22.
It's huge, man. It's absolutely huge. Because you know what? Regardless of what he does for us, he's an asset that's only going to increase in value under Jurgen Klopp.
Right.
Let's say we used him for 3 years and all of a sudden he wanted to go to Real Madrid. Okay, 120 million. Maybe not, but you're going to get at least what you spent on him.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't imagine his wages are through the roof. Anyone know what his wages are?
Not off the top of my head. I know it's a 5-year contract, though. If you look that up, we'll have to know. But yeah, 5-year contract. And someone said it in here. Yeah, so FYI, because I had to do research. I can't pronounce names for the life of me. So the pronunciation of the name, the Z's are silent. You drop the Z's. They're just there. Okay? It's Sob. Like, this is how David O'Connell wrote it in his article. Sob Boss Lie. Szoboszlai. But it sounds weird when I say it. I want to throw the Z and the S in there, so I end up saying Szoboszlai, even though that's not how you say it. So, RDO
Szoboszlai
says 150.
Nothing. That's nothing.
Yeah.
That's fine.
He was getting 80K at Leipzig.
Yeah, what's Bellingham getting?
Oh.
Probably what McAllister and Dom are getting combined. Question is, Kyle, take your time chewing. It's fine. It's a beautiful Sunday.
I mean, dude, I'm just in that kind of mood.
That's totally fine. Kyle's lost his mind. The question is, what's next? Because here's what I know. I know we need at least 2 more players. To me, that is Thuram, or a player of that caliber, a physical, defensive-minded midfielder. And I believe we'll get into him. It seems like that's still on. It seems like that's certainly still on. And I believe we're battling Newcastle at this point. However, we also need another center back. Respect to everybody that we have as center backs, and that's especially for Joel Matip. Gomez can give you a shift. He goes into different spurts of good form, bad form. But at the end of the day, after the quadruple season 2 seasons ago, Joel Matip wasn't the same. However, he can still give you a shift. He can still give you, when fit, 3 to 4 games of solid cover behind Konate. But there were times last year where Virgil was out or Konate was out. And do you remember that feeling of uncertainty at the back, even if it was like Virgil and Matip?
Do I remember?
When it was Virgil and Konate, no worries. We'd give up. We could even give up, still give up goals against them. But I didn't really have any major concerns. But even with Matip, as much as I love him, like he cannot be relied on as a good enough third choice anymore because of what we're seeing around us. The league is getting stronger. So I think we need a center back that is just like unbelievably solid and fit.
Yes.
To be number 4 or 3.
So let me point out something. And SA Scouts are here. Great points. So Levi Colwill. Okay. This guy loaned from Chelsea to Brighton all season. Had a great season. So the big thing we also have to think about is the homegrown players, Steve, right? So you're allowed 25 players on the roster, but 8 of them have to be homegrown. Now, you can list 23, but 6 of them have to be homegrown if you can't make the 8 homegrown. So we can now sign, I believe, 1 more player, non-homegrown player. Okay? So if we say we sign Thuram, the next player we sign has to be a homegrown player. Levi Colwill fits that perfectly because he's the only option. Not the only option, right? You got other, Adam Webster, whatever. But there has to be a left-footed center back if Klopp decides to play this new system. Because Robbo is an attacking wing player, right? Trent's going to be
Robbo is a left forward.
He's literally a left winger. He is. And so putting that responsibility on Robbo to play both center back and left wing back, rather than just getting a left-footed center back that can play both left back and center back at the same time, feel like it does Robbo a disservice. Klopp, again, we've talked about this on several shows before. Klopp has a lot of decisions to make, but the fact remains is that people forget about the homegrown player rule.
Actually, I've just had a change of heart here, I think. Literally just now. First of all, Liz says, how's the money tree? Money tree is great, and it will make an appearance soon. I promise. It's looking better now than it ever has. I got to be honest with myself. And give myself a little credit.
There you go.
It's not easy. It's not easy to raise one of those. I don't think we are going to change our formation.
I couldn't raise a cactus.
You couldn't raise a thumb.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Oh my god,
dude! All right,
yeah, you saying because cactuses are so low maintenance?
Literally, you water them like once every decade, and they're good to go.
If that,
yeah.
They don't even like water, bro. All right, listen. All right, we're not changing our formation.
No, well,
because of Robbo. Robbo is going to be the person that keeps the formation where it is, I think.
Okay.
With that hybrid Trent role. Because he's too good and he's too valuable in Klopp and we all love him so much that he's not going to be I don't think he should be the left part of a back three. I don't think that's fair to him.
No, I agree. That's what I'm saying.
But he also needs to play like every match.
Okay, so this is
because what left-footed center back is going to come in and replace him?
Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
What if we went to a back five or a 3-5-2? Right? So this is the dilemma you run into. Klopp is going to line up with a back four, and Trent is just going to filter into midfield. That's just what he was doing, and Robbo's going to play there. That puts so much pressure on Van Dijk and Konate, though. So much pressure to cover. You basically have two defenders. It's very difficult to see a world where, one, Robbo doesn't start every game. That's number one. But two, where Robbo plays if Trent's going to play that hybrid role as a left center back in a back three. I just can't see it.
No, I know. You're right. There's so many variables, so many options. Dermot says, are we going to see Ramsey next season? He's gone. He's on loan.
Right?
Preston. Legend. Okay. I think Robbo's too valuable, so something's got to give. And I didn't even consider other options. I thought it was back four or back three. I guess back five is an option, or like with the wing backs.
Yo, not anymore. Not anymore. Right now, we're going right, left.
Yeah, right.
We're heading straight.
You know what's really sad, though? I'm sorry to put a damper on everyone's day. All this is going to happen. We're going to jump back to where we should be, hopefully, and then we still have to play in the Europa League. But anyways,
I'm excited for that.
Okay. Whatever.
So you're just not going to watch it? Because
no, of course I'm gonna watch it, dude. I'm gonna watch it. I watch every match.
Well, then why are you crapping on it? Just enjoy your team.
Because, dude, this is the most exciting time of every year is when we make signings. Besides, like when you're fighting for trophies in like May, when we make signings, and then that anticipation, watching like a 20 minutes of a crappy preseason game here and there, and then that second week of August hits, Premier League opening day. Oh my God. There's nothing like it in the world. It's the best time. And then once that wears off, man, reality sets in. Those cold, dark, rainy nights. These guys are playing in Stoke. Yeah.
In Stoke? Where are we going? Are we going
Russia
to
or
Sweden?
Oh man, it's just gonna be crazy, man. It's gonna be crazy. But
I think we have a game in the Arctic Circle in the group stage.
Holy crap.
Yeah. I'm kidding. I just made that
in
up.
the ocean.
Oh yeah, we're playing in the ocean. There we go.
We're playing water polo in one of the group matches.
Oh man. All right, let me pull this up. Hold on. I gotta pull this up for you guys. So, look, this could turn out to be a fantastic window for Liverpool. Liverpool are hoping to speed things up for Khephran Thuram.
You're not sharing, which is totally fine, but I thought you were sharing.
What are you talking about?
Were you trying to share?
Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm an absolute idiot, guys. Yep. You know, whatever. I'm stupid. I'll live with it.
And then you got rid of me.
I just kicked Steve out. Shout out, Steve.
I'm back.
Let me just figure out how to do this. Jesus. How do I?
Revenite says if we win Europa, I won't care. I don't. You might be alone on that one, man. But
there we go.
It's still. I know what you mean. I think it's a little bit. I think it's a little harsh, but yeah, it's definitely different. Still a major trophy, and the only one that Klopp hasn't won, as far as I know.
All right, look. If you guys don't know, Alexis McAllister, typical attacking box-to-box guy, can play on the left-hand side. Szoboszlai, traditional central attacking midfielder. Okay, that's the only thing that kind of confuses me about this. Like, we didn't really go defensive yet. Okay, Khephran Thuram himself isn't even a CDM technically. He's more of a progressive ball carrier in the midfield. Okay. So I think Klopp is just like, I'm good with Henderson and Fabinho and Bajcetic if we need those holding midfield spots.
Well, you got Trent too. That's the other thing.
What?
The obvious one is Trent sliding over. Don't forget.
Right. But Trent's not, he wouldn't be a holding. He would just be like a pivot almost.
I mean, I think it's tomato, Kyle. He's a defensive player that'd be in the midfield. I think that's what Klopp is thinking. He's got all these options. That's what I'm saying.
Right. But I guess what I'm thinking is, this just goes back to what we were talking about before with the formation. Like, you can't have 800 attacking midfield players and no DM, you know? Like, so I don't know. But Khephran Thuram, regardless, let me just put, Jesus, it just keeps opening up the window, a new window. So hold on, guys. Just
don't you open up that window.
Don't you let out that antidote.
Yeah.
Szoboszlai is all we know. Yeah.
Party summary on a Sunday.
Do it all again next Sunday.
Oh man, what a heater. We got to make a new intro. We got 263 people in here right now. We got a lot of people in here. Welcome.
We got a lot of people in here. Shout out to
everybody that's new.
Everybody
that's new, welcome. Everybody that's new, welcome. If you enjoy the stream, if you want to become a channel member, check us out. Smash the like button. Subscribe.
Yeah. All the support you guys show is incredible.
And if you just like to chill on Sunday and chat Reds, this is the place to be. Every Sunday, without fail. Well, within reason. Let's say 45 Sundays a year. We're here.
I'd say 48.
Do it all again next Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
All right, so we need a center back and we need another midfielder. I don't know what's going on with your screen. I don't even know if it matters. But yes, we're amping up our pursuit of this guy. And Kyle, correct me if I'm wrong. Is Newcastle, who we're potentially battling now? Yep, there we go.
There you go. Reds are
because didn't they want Szoboszlai?
Shut up, Steve. Are also pursuing the Frenchman and want to ensure they beat the Magpies to the finish line. Journalist Rudy Galletti, this was yesterday, by the way, has provided the latest update on Liverpool's pursuit of the 22-year-old. 22 is that new sweet spot. Galletti has stated that Newcastle's negotiations for Thuram are progressing well, but Liverpool are eager to close the gap. Thuram was reportedly one of Liverpool's priority targets this window before the breakthrough signing of Dominik, which is set to be announced in the next few days. Okay? Now, here's the tweet. Liverpool are speeding things up for Khephran Thuram, and they want to close the gap, basically exactly saying whatever. But this was what I reported on earlier this week, if you guys checked out the video I made, is that two clubs are working to reach an agreement for around 40 to 45 million euros. No issues on personal terms. So this is what I think is happening, Steve. Khephran Thuram and Liverpool are set. They want this deal to work out. Okay. OG Nice are just being stingy and they want a certain amount of money, which credit to them. So now things are stalling. And they're also, I think Nice are trying to create this bidding war between Newcastle and Liverpool.
I think you're absolutely right. At the end of the day, look, 40, 45, 50, 38. If this is your guy, this is the last piece of your midfield rebuild puzzle, you buy him. No questions asked. Nice, what do you want? Boom, send him the check now. Send him over. If these links are real, Kyle, right? We get linked with everybody under the sun. These links are real. We've had concrete talks.
Good Lord.
Which apparently the first couple of which were not progressive. We did not make progress on those first couple of meetings per reports. If this is the guy that you want, and this is the last piece of the midfield puzzle for Klopp, you just got to get it done. Change your focus to a center back, left-footed. If you want, get it done. Let's start prepping for the season. Let's get into preseason.
I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, there's no war to be had here. If they want 45 or 50, you do it. If this is your guy, we're not splitting hairs here. We're not nickel and diamond. You've already gotten two guys. We are happy. Let's keep it going. Make it happen. That's what I feel.
Revolutions. You feel?
Keep moving down the stream, Kyle.
Keep
moving down the stream.
Hold on a second. Woo! That's the guy, man. Absolutely. Shout out to everyone in the chat, guys. 300.
Welcome.
5 people in the chat. You're at the right place. Steve said it earlier. If you just like to chill, chat Reds on Sunday, shoot the shit, and just hang out, but also get your news, this is the place for you.
Eclipse Sam's is in the chat. Max M. What's up?
Eclipse Sam. Top pot.
Legend. So, man, I think Saab was paid by a loan from some sort of company.
What?
I don't know what that is.
I
think I said he's saying like Szoboszlai. Don't correct my Dom. I think he's making a joke that Dom was paid for by like an outside investment.
Yeah.
But if we want Thuram, we actually got to like reach into our own pockets, and it's not going to happen.
How would you not? Like you said, it's the last piece of the puzzle. Just sign the dude.
Teabags for life. Thuram and Kone are best friends. If Kone didn't get that ACL injury, I think we would have gotten both. I think Kone is off the radar now.
Yo, he is. I haven't heard anything about him since the injury.
When did he tear his ACL?
I don't know if he tore his ACL, but he limped off in one of the games at the Euros or whatever. So,
okay, yeah, because I haven't heard anything about that guy in a month. He's off the radar.
Yeah.
See
you later.
Yeah.
What else we got in the chat here? Oh, Redbird. This is what I like to see.
Yeah, this is funny.
If we get Thuram, I'm getting an FSG in shirt. And I would pay for that.
I would not.
I'm tired. Steven, not everyone, people are roasting FSG, saying, you're not spending any money. The second we start spending money, then I see more roasting of John Henry, like a Twitter account, John Henry Official, saying, someone stole my wallet. It's funny, but it's like, can you give them credit? Somebody give some credit somewhere. Everyone's always complaining.
Well, look, Kyle, I think I'm on the other side of this one.
Oh, God.
And here's why. Because it's because of them that we're in this position.
True.
It's because they didn't get any midfielders in January that we're desperate, like begging for a treat.
What was that?
For a treat. It's a dog begging for a treat, dude, and panting. But because we're in this scenario because of them. So I wouldn't even say I'm happy with them. This is what I expect and more. But I've never been like a one to waste time bashing owners. You're not going to drive them out of the club.
True.
No amount of slander is going to drive FSG out of this club. We've seen that. They've made mistakes. There's been public apologies. They're not going anywhere until they're ready, so don't waste your breath. Number one. Number two, we don't have Michael Edwards anymore. So things are different.
True.
We don't have that absolute legend, that wizard, to pull deals out of thin air. Everything's taking longer. So I would say you got to take every report you get also with a grain of salt. If you see a report come from somebody that says Liverpool not willing to spend X, Y, and Z, like, take that with a grain of salt. Keep in mind all these other factors. Klopp has his list. We have a new sporting director. Who knows how good he is, how effective he is. We don't have Michael Edwards anymore. There's still some players that could get sold. There's a lot of variables. It's not just FSG saying, okay, how much do you want? 40 million for this guy? Nah. It's not that simple.
No, never is.
And we've also signed 2 players before the end of July. If you told me that 4 weeks ago, I would have said, fine, I'll take that. So I'm not ready to complain.
No.
But also the FSG in versus the FSG out stuff, like we've made it through that way too.
People are wasting
too many
their breath
times.
on that. Just enjoy the fact that we're actually doing a rebuild now.
And it's pretty enjoyable. It is actually
so enjoyable. Rosie says, hold on. When did we spend over 100 mil without any outgoings? That's a mid-table club ambition. Now we're just thinking too much about it, guys.
Wait, when did we spend over 100 mil? In the last 3 weeks. You mean on one player?
Well, I think you're putting that sentence in a box. Very rarely does any team spend 100 mil without any outgoing players. Because financial fair play, you can't do that. You can't just spend all this money without having some financial fair play to even out the books. Another thing, that Nicholas Jackson signing for Chelsea are using this new loophole now where they sign players to 8-year contracts. We've talked about this, but that's how they get around the financial fair play.
Super chat coming in from Beth McFarlane and Nani. Thank you guys very much. We got one from Michael Ramsey in here. Happy birthday, America. I love that. Michael Ramsey's up next.
Michael Ramsey. Legend.
Shout out to Michael Ramsey. Shout out to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you for the support.
Thank you. Now I want to revisit that. When was the last time, or did we ever spend over 100 million?
Hold on 1 second. You think about that. Need both Lavia and Thuram to win the league. Send Rubbish Elliott on loan, or else it's just top you can battle for no need for center back now. Well, Michael, first off, thank you very much for the super chat. Always appreciated. And your takes are always hot, not always good, but you're still a legend. Thank you very much.
We're not sending Elliott on loan.
Yeah, and well, normally he says Rubbish Jones too, but this time he left Jones out. So,
did you see Elliott take that ball and carry it basically the full length of the pitch and score for England?
Yeah, and then did you also see Thuram pretty much do the same thing?
I did not see that, but what I'm seeing in Elliott, this is what I've been waiting for, because I'm a huge Elliott fan.
Can I just...
He didn't progress last season.
Hold on. Before you start, I just want to say, again, thank you guys for the super chats. Seriously. Like, you guys willing to support us monetarily, you guys don't understand how important that is, how much we appreciate that. Thank you very much. It's one thing for you guys just to show up and show your support. That's great. But when you go and above and beyond, channel members, super chats, thank you. Seriously, you guys keep the channel going. Just had to throw that in there, Steve. Go ahead.
No, that's totally fair. So a couple things I want to touch on, and then we got to get to more folks here in the chat. The 100 million comment, I don't know if that was for one player or just in general, because we have spent 100 million. I think we just did in the month of June alone.
It's like 95, but I get what you're saying.
Okay, right, but we're not done. But anyways, there's only been probably less than 10 players in the history of the sport that have been purchased for over 100 million. So I don't know if you're talking about just one player or in general, because that's whatever. Anyways, I get it. You want us to spend more money. We're all in that boat. Let's do it. And then the next one was Elliott. Elliott did not improve this season, but he showed consistent availability, and I think he was solid enough. But what I saw in that one single play for England was my whole thing with Elliott is, because I do love him, it's been his physical attributes. I think he's creative. I think he's got a high IQ, but I think he lacks a little bit of pace to, especially, he's not going to break into the right wing over Salah. So he's got to play in the midfield. Midfield's tough in the league. Those European nights, we saw him play against Inter a couple seasons ago. He just looked like a child playing against men. But it's the physical attributes. It's the willingness to get in for a tackle, and really like the pace and the strength. But he does look a little bit refreshed from what I've seen in the last couple of matches. Mm-hmm. So maybe he's making that turn, that physical development that we need. Because if he can be a little bit faster and a little bit stronger, and maybe even just like shoot a little bit more, because he's got some whip on that left foot. Mm-hmm. We saw that in that Wolves goal. That rocket. If he can do that, man. Well, anyways, he's not going out on loan.
No, he's not going out on loan. I also watched the when Stevie met Salah video last night. And Salah was talking about how he likes what Elliott is doing in the midfield now, where Elliott will essentially create chances by making runs through the forward line for Salah, and he likes that. Whereas like a player like Hendo kind of sits back and, well, maybe not Hendo, but another type of midfielder will just sit back, not make runs, so it makes it harder for the attacking players. Harvey Elliott might be one of those guys, Steve, where like he starts out in the midfield, but as he gets older, and like you said, his physical attributes start to grow into him a little bit, he starts playing on the wing. Like he
just needs to get faster.
Yeah.
Like he needs some serious pace increase to do that.
He's pretty
slow.
Not
every player that plays on the wing is speedy, but at least in the system that we have right now, you got to be fast to play on the wing. Diaz, Mane, Salah, right? Now, you think about, I would argue that there's a lot of wingers in the league that aren't fast, but it just doesn't really fit with our system.
I agree, especially because they play out wide and we play on the break a lot, and you got to be shifty. I think that's the best way to put it. Like Salah, Luis Diaz, they're shifty. Elliott, I don't know if Elliott's quite shifty yet. He's also really young. So let's go over to the chat here. Top Pot says, we have a good defensive line. Elliott wouldn't need to come back. He would focus on attack, which is his positive attribute. I agree 100%. Also, we got another super chat coming in. Man, shout out to you guys. Inferno Gaming 2002. US dollars. Let's go. Oh, wait, no, is it US dollars?
No, I don't think so. I don't know what that is, but thank you so much.
Well, regardless, thank you very much. I think personally having McAllister and Dominik is solid. Personally, we need Thuram and maybe someone like Mickey Vandenberg or Colwill to give competition to Van Dijk and make it a perfect market. And I agree with that. Let me ask you this, Steve. Would you rather, if we had one more signing, it be a midfielder or a defender?
Crap, man. Honestly, at this point, I think it's got to be a center back.
That's
not what I want. That's not what I want. But like I said, we need a guy that's either going to be third choice, just ahead of Matip, or a guy that's going to be fourth choice, just behind Matip. Nobody's breaking into the first 11 on planet Earth.
Right.
I honestly don't think anybody's going to break ahead of Van Dijk and Konate right now. Let's hope Van Dijk can turn it around a little bit. But those are the two best center backs that we have right now.
I agree. Now, Van Dijk is getting older. However, he's still one of the best defenders in the world. So you're right. Our starting center backs, Van Dijk and Konate. Matip's getting old. Gomez, you said earlier in the show, very, very, very inconsistent. So the purchase is going to have to be someone who can just fill in if one of these players is injured or is suspended or whatever the case may be. Sick.
It's got to be the third option, I think, actually, now that I think about it. It's got to be someone a little bit on the younger side that's a little bit pricey, maybe in the 50 million range. Honestly, this is what I'm thinking. I think this would make sense. Somebody that's in that range that can be the third option ahead of Matip. Because if Matip's your fourth option, that's fine.
I'm happy with it.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
But I don't want to go with just the one more.
Back, if you need him.
And you still have, let's actually give a shout out to a man that's willing to die for the badge. A man that would go out on his shield.
Phillips.
Yeah. Nat Phillips. Shout out to him. He's still there. He'll still take a bullet for anybody. I don't know what we're going to do with him, but man, I just feel like he deserves to play.
God,
why are we holding on to him?
Well,
I think he made one league appearance. Like, we're never going to use him, Kyle.
We're making him available for 10 mil.
How old is he now? 27?
Ish, yeah, I think so.
Man, yeah, he deserves to play.
God,
he could go be like the best center back in like the championship or something.
He honestly, if he went to the championship, that's the thing. Like, would a championship club pay 10 million for someone? I don't know. Unless you're like Leicester. Leicester's spending 25 million and 10 million on Harry Winks and all that stuff. But
Harry
that's
Winks
right.
Still around?
Nat Phillips is being linked to Leeds. That's what it is. Yep. What are you saying, Steve?
Harry Winks is still around?
Yeah, I didn't know that until I saw the that Leicester buying him.
Nat's 26. Liz says, Liz, thanks for doing the dirty work.
Liz needs a lot of the credit, guys. Liz and Tony and Oyvind, like, honestly, all of our channel members are great, but Liz goes above and beyond. Moderation, looking stuff up. Appreciate you, Liz. Telling people to like the stream. Absolute legend. We got a great community here.
Also, again, if you're new, we are approaching the 10K subscriber mark.
Oh, yeah, we are. We're getting really close.
So please give us a follow, give us a subscribe. We love it. Join us every Sunday. Share us with your friends.
Oh, Inferno Gaming. You're doing it, man. Going above and beyond. $7.99 now, Australian dollars. Main issue is we have 4 options on right center back and nothing to support us on left. This is a great point, which is why we're probably targeting that left center back. In the case Van Dijk is injured, someone like Ignacio is also solid. A is Australia. Appreciate it. Yeah. God, but I just keep coming back to the homegrown thing. The homegrown thing, the Colwell, right? If we end up getting Khephran Thuram, then you absolutely need homegrown players, or you got to send someone out on loan, or I don't know what the case is, or register less people. There's a lot at play here. A lot at play.
You know, there's a guy that's available from a rival of ours, a left-footed center back, and I'm going to give you the chance to guess who it is.
Say that again?
There's a left-footed center back who's experienced in the league from a rival, and I'm going to give you a chance to guess who it is.
Okay.
And I don't see us making a deal with this club.
Just give me the color of the club.
Blue.
Ake. No, he didn't say anything.
I said blue.
I know, and I said Ake.
Oh no, he's not available. I don't think.
Okay.
Close.
Close.
Literally, like.
Super close. Laporte.
Yes.
Laporte.
Yes.
Okay.
Dude, left-footed center back, experienced, 29, still got a few years left in him. I don't see us doing business with them, but he's a left-footed center back and can play left back in the back three. He's being linked. Dude, he's being linked.
We're linked with Laporte?
No, he's being linked to Tottenham and I think Villa.
Ooh, Villa doing some
Arsenal. I mean, who knows how true all this stuff is, but I think he could be on the way out. He was their number one defender. He would play with company for a couple years before.
He was that first defender signing under Pep where it was like, okay, that's a big defender. But then you bring in Ruben Diaz and John Stones had a run in the team for a while before he went to the midfield. And then he got injured. Didn't he tear his ACL?
Yeah. He got injured, and then it was hard for him to get back in. And this year, dude, he had like less than 20 appearances in all comps, like something outrageous.
Yeah. Hannah says, I honestly don't know which English players I take. Colwill, underrated. Max Kilman. Players that people are like, oh, that's not an attractive name. Just saying. They're not going to play anyway. They're only going to play if someone's injured or, if we change the system. But as of right now, the starting back four, game one, is Robbo, Van Dijk, Konate, and Trent. It's what it is.
It's been like that for years, bro. You could just like switch out like Konate or Matip. It's been like that for years.
Yeah.
That back five, with the exception of the random rotation in there.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. Set in stone.
Yeah. Everyone, I've seen a lot of people this morning saying Vardiol. He's going to City. Is he not?
Well, boom. Then go get Laporte. Look, I don't think they said we. Who's it? Rosie. Somebody in there said, I don't think we do business with them. I don't think City's in the business of like not selling to rivals. Think about all the people they've got that have gone to Arsenal with Arteta.
Yeah.
Like if Pep or Man City were worried in any way about Arteta like taking their players and using the tactics and it's not the case for them, I don't think. Because they can just buy whoever they want. I think that's one thing City is like they have rivalries, but I feel like they'll sell to anybody.
They will. We've done business with them in the past too. I just want to keep bringing up the Calvin Phillips signing. City. Oh, man. Idiots. Okay. Oscar Murphy says, Sidiots. Oh, that's good. I like that. Keep Thiago. He can be a difference in big games when fit. I saw a tweet the other day, Steve. Okay? And I kind of want this not wrap it up here, but this will be kind of the last point of discussion. Even if I saw this tweet, and this is what it said. Even with the signing of Dominik, of McAllister, and say we get Thuram, and with our existing players, they still said Thiago is the best midfielder we have. I want to get your thoughts on that.
Thiago's the best midfielder we have.
Okay. There it is.
I mean, all things considered, when fit, he's got the most experience. He's got the most skill. He's got the best vision. I mean, and I can say that with confidence because Trent's not a midfielder yet. And we don't know exactly what we have with McAllister and Dom.
Very true.
So I can say that with confidence, and I believe that. He's not going anywhere. Let him see out his contract. Let him go on a free. Whatever. Or sign him to an extension and sell him next summer. He's getting older, man. He may look at like going over and playing somewhere else for a year. Going to Saudi and raking in some cash and then retiring.
It's unbelievable, the Saudi signings this season. Also, real quick, I knew I liked Inferno Gaming from the start. Thanks again for the super chat. Saying, I agree with Kyle. We can sign Colwell, and we can bring up Vandenberg since he qualifies as homegrown this year. Vandenberg.
Sepp Vandenberg? From
Dinkelberg.
From the Netherlands?
You mean the winger?
Wait, homegrown? Is there like a certain time? I don't know how the homegrown thing works. We don't have to get into it.
You still count as homegrown if you buy them under a certain age.
Huh.
Yeah.
Cool.
Or if they spend time in your academy or they play for a U18, something like that.
Yeah, Inferno, you're the man, by the way. Thank you so much. we talked about this last week. So if you didn't join us last week and you're new, join us next week and every week after, forever.
Yeah.
Sepp Vandenberg's never going to snip the pitch for Liverpool. He's been here for years.
He's a Grujic.
Years. And yeah, exactly, dude. Like, what are we doing? Like, stop holding on to this guy. Sell him. We need players right now. Sell Sepp Vandenberg for 15 million.
No one's paying 15 million for
Whatever,
Sepp
10,
Vandenberg.
8, whatever. Sell him. What good is he doing for us?
I don't know. What did we get him for? Like 1.6 mil or something?
Dude, I don't know. But, like, sell him. He's not going to play. Kyle, I'd want Trent, Robbo, Fabinho, Nat, all these guys to play over him. Sepp Vandenberg isn't a top 8 center back option at this club. I'm sorry. I want Hendo there before him.
Oh, my God. Reece Williams
no offense, because he's the best right winger we have.
Yeah, that's true. T-Bag says 5 mil for Sepp if we're lucky. I agree with that. If we're lucky. Dermot says Kyle Walker. We're linked with Kyle Walker. Why would we? I mean, yeah, it'd be a decent idea, but why? Why would we get him? So
I don't think those links are real.
I think he's trying to negotiate a new contract with City at the moment. Regardless, let's summarize everything because after all, this is the Sunday summary. Number one, thank you to everyone for all the super chats and the support and all 300 plus people in here. You guys rock. Thank you guys so much. But Liverpool signed Dominik Szoboszlai. Never going to get it right, dude. Never in my life am I going to get it right. It's Dominik, okay? And Liverpool are advancing.
Szoboszlai. You taught me this.
I know, but it's hard to say it in real time.
Szoboszlai.
Okay.
Dom. How about Dom Solanke?
Dom Solanke. All right, so we signed Dom Solanke. All right, 70 million release clause. Love it. Now we're looking to close the deal for Khephran Thuram. Advancing. It's us in Newcastle. We beat. I think we'll get him. I think we'll get Khephran Thuram. I think the homegrown thing, yes, it's a concern, but I know Liverpool know what they're doing. So.
Yeah, I haven't even been thinking about this homegrown thing. This must have just come up recently.
Well, it's always been a thing, but we always make it work.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, is the concern because we just brought in Dom that we're up against like the limit or whatever? Because we haven't talked about this on the show in the last year.
Well, I just think it's because we're signing people now, so we have to take it into account.
Right. But I'm saying, are we approaching some limit because of the signing 2 days ago? Are we now have to make a decision?
Yeah, I think we're allowed to sign one more player.
Gotcha.
Something like that.
Well, here we go. Another super chat.
Legend. Vandenberg is U21's Liverpool center back. Young prospect compared to Vandenberg. Could be a solid way to fulfill our goals in homegrown. Double dipping with Vandenberg.
Yo, Inferno, you are the man. Thank you so much for all of your support today. You are really double dipping into the Vandenberg bucket, man. I love it.
Hello, Mateus here says.
I'm pretty sure he's got a bad ankle injury, Kyle. We just talked about this.
I don't know.
He's not young anymore.
Szoboszlai. You know what? Listen to me, everyone, okay? Everyone's pronouncing it differently. Everybody. So I don't want to hear it. We're calling him Solanke.
Rosie says, I don't see Fabinho starting for us next season. This really recaps a lot of what we've talked about. We have options. We don't know what's going to happen with Trent. Is it going to be that hybrid role? Is he going to play in the midfield? So if we have the quality where Fabinho doesn't start, that's a good thing. I still love Fabinho. I still love Hoover.
Yeah, no.
But you also got Pacetic. You got Hendo, who's going to play. No matter what you want to say about Hendo and who we sign, Hendo is going to play a ton of minutes this year. It's just the reality. Hendo will play every match. Hendo will play 85% of our matches. He might not start. He might start less than 50 or less. But you have to keep in mind, he's going to play a ton of football. Jurgen is going to run him ragged. So we also got to think about, if we get Thuram, and we already have McAllister and Dom Solanke playing in the midfield, who we just bought for 70.
Love it.
If we have all those guys, then that means some of them are not going to play every match.
Right.
Like, if you think these three are going to come in, if you think these three are going to come in, right? If you think we're going to line up with Thuram, McAllister, and Szoboszlai, you are out of your mind. That will never happen. Never. Because Fabinho, Bajcetic, Hendo, Thiago.
Literally, I saw this tweet the other day and I laughed for like a minute straight. The top of it was like, quote, saying Liverpool had a great transfer window signing Szoboszlai, Thuram, and McAllister. And then it had quotes down below of the first match at Chelsea saying, and now for your starting midfield, Hendo, Fabinho, and Curtis Jones.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude, I forgot about Curtis Jones. Yo, some of these new signings aren't going to play much, I think. No, I shouldn't say that. I just think you'll see a lot of rotation. I shouldn't say not play much, but there's only so many minutes that can go around. And you know Klopp loves to play Elliott. You saw what he did with Jones. You know Thiago's going to play. You know Hendo's going to play. You know Fabinho's going to play. And then you have these three new guys, or two at least. There's going to be, it is a great problem to have, but maybe, just maybe, he starts with three and then subs three on at the 60-minute mark to keep those fresh legs for 95, 98 minutes.
That's the biggest thing. We don't have any legs. These guys give us legs.
Legs! Michael Ramsey. Another super chat before we wrap up here.
You won't get Thuram because you all love Rubbish Elliott and Jones. Klopp will start Dunn, Hendo, and Fab first because it's Chelsea away. Well, I mean, look, I agree with you. Like, Hendo and Fabinho are starting.
I don't know.
Thanks for the super chat. Dude, it's an exciting time to be a Liverpool fan.
Yeah, IBR Stellar, who, if I remember correctly, had an amazing comment last week.
IBR Stellar had the comment of the year about
McBurney. The McBurney? Yeah, the McBurney burger chain. Was that him?
Chain. That was Stellar. Legend. Stellar.
We've been talking about that all week, Stellar, by the way. Kyle and I offline have been talking about that all week.
Let's go to McBurney's, yeah.
Dude, let's go to McBurney's. Hey, man, you hungry? You thinking what I'm thinking? Yeah, man, I am. Let's go to McBurney's. Oh, my God. All right, so Thiago will be injured before the season starts.
You're not
If
wrong.
he's fit, dude, he's got to play. What he can do, especially against big teams. Now, he's lost the physical pace, but he'll still slide in for a tackle. He'll still make a world-class ball. Through balls, his vision.
He's guaranteed a yellow card within 5 minutes of coming on the pitch.
You know what? Dude, there are so many question marks. I would not be surprised if we see him jump back into form and start starting like every league match. And like these Europa League matches, first name on the team sheet.
I love this. I love this conversation of like, who's going to start? You know what I mean? Who's going to start?
Dude, with his experience, I think he's one of the first names on the team sheet on a Europa League night. Like, that's Thiago's competition this year.
Kyle Walker-Peters. That is the first time I've... Really? You think?
I've heard that quite a bit, actually.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
As like
if Trent goes into midfield. As the starter, if Trent goes into like that midfield role.
Interesting. Okay. All right.
But I have no idea, man. Inferno, you've been the man today. Thank you.
Yeah. And also, to all 250 of you other guys, you guys are all legendary supporters. Nothing but Reds every Sunday. Be here, chat it up, shoot the shit. Steve, do you have any closing thoughts?
Thanks for the super chats today, guys. Thanks for spending time with us. Happy Independence Day. Happy 4th of July for those that are celebrating. It marks the beginning, the real, true beginning of summer. I hope the weather's good for everybody. I hope Liverpool get Khephran Thuram and a center back, and then we can start to enjoy the preparation and the preseason, the awful preseason matches that we always have to watch.
I love the preseason matches.
Dude, the commentary is just trash. The camera's trash. It's so bad.
But hey.
But thank you all. Have a great rest of the weekend.
Oyvin's stuck on the fact that it's not Independence Day yet, but that's okay.
What?
Oyvind keeps saying, "Is this Trip Twitty?" Hold on a second. Legend.
Shout out to Trip.
Legend. I was like, wait a minute, I know that guy.
Oyvind, bro, it's not Independence Day yet. I'm pretty sure I know that, but I will not see you again until the 9th of July. In which case, Independence Day will have been 5 days old. So would you rather me wish you a happy Independence Day 2 days before or 5 days after? Oyvind, you legend. Thank you. Let's just keep rowing along till next weekend.
Closing thoughts for me. I'm excited to see Dominik Szoboszlai play for the Reds. Big signing. And, Sepp Vandenberg, if Salah has a poor season, we just throw him on the wing. We'll be good to go. So that's it. Shout out to everyone. Thank you for the super chats. We appreciate your support, Reds. And until next time, take care.